From countless near-death experiences to a plethora of emotions, e.g., Eddie returning to Texas. The characters on 911 are no strangers to tragedy. Maddie Hahn, previously Buckley, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, has always been an exception. Maddie has actually had a difficult time since her debut in Season 2, when we first saw her shortly after she fled an abusive marriage to Los Angeles. Nevertheless, Maddie's experience in the first episode of the two-part return of 911 season May 8th have been her darkest plot point to date. It could be more traumatic than her previous kidnapping, postpartum depression and escape to Boston, and almost losing her soon-to-be husband last season. Let's review Maddie's specific ordeal, discuss how the incident might affect the season going forward, and hopefully agree that Maddie Hahn deserves a vacation. Setting the scene. Maddie is working as a 911 dispatcher when she receives her first call from a person using a voice changer who admits to Maddie that they are suicidal and that they wish to murder a young girl named Jaina in order to guarantee that she goes to heaven. Maddie tries to save Jaina by promising the would-be murderer that she will make sure the police don't find them if they release the child. Naturally, the murderer is aware that she is lying, and by the time the call ends, Athena, Angela Bassett, has already arrived on the scene. Athena and LAPD Detective Amber Brayburn soon tell Maddie that they believe the person she spoke to might be a serial killer. Maddie acknowledges that she looked into comparable calls. Athena chooses to do more research on Bullock, the suspect Amber has her eye on. Maddie receives another call shortly after. Maddie makes the startling choice to convince Bullock, the murderer, to commit suicide before he harms anyone else. For Maddie, who is accustomed to saving lives rather than convincing someone to take their own, this plotline is already extremely traumatic. Maddie feels terrible guilt about what she did, even though she knows she saved Jaina. Maddie's darkest moment hasn't ended even then. The killer, who turns out to be none other than Amber, shows up and kidnaps Maddie while she and her daughter Ji-yoon are alone at home while her husband Howard Chimney Han, Kenneth Choi, is at Eddie's, Ryan Guzman, surprise farewell party. Maddie is knocked out at the end of the episode, putting her and Ji-yoon in danger. Although this episode, appropriately titled Sob Stories, is already quite depressing, viewers will recall that Maddie finds this plotline to be even more relatable. As you can see, Maddie's experience of being abducted is not new. In Season 2, Maddie was forced to kill her violent ex-husband Doug, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt's real-life husband, Brian Hallisey, in order to get away from him. Maddie, her friends, and her family have been plagued by this trauma for the past 6 seasons. Her brother Buck, Oliver Stark, sees him in his alternate reality coma dream, and more recently on their wedding day, Chimney hallucinated him while afflicted with encephalitis. Naturally, this episode also puts little Ji-yoon in danger. While Maddie was taken, or worse taken with her, her young daughter was at home. Furthermore, Maddie is concerned about more than just Ji-yoon. Maddie and Chimney had lengthy conversations about whether they were ready for or even wanted a second child during the first half of Season 8. Maddie had an extremely difficult postpartum period after her first pregnancy, which led her to flee to Boston and even make a tragic attempt at suicide in order to prevent further harm to her daughter and partner. Chimney's presence has been a recurring theme in all of Maddie's recent tragedies. The pair is genuinely in love, and their relationship has withstood the most trying times because Chim has always gone above and beyond to support Maddie in her choices. Their relationship will undoubtedly be strained and under pressure as a result of all this stress. But in her interview with Collider, Jennifer Love Hewitt states that everything that Maddie fights for in episode 10 is G, and that baby and Chimney. Maddie is a woman who was put on this planet to fight over and over and over and over again. Hewitt highlights that Maddie gained some knowledge from Doug's kidnapping, which she will apply in the upcoming episode. Maddie is fundamentally a fighter, and she has demonstrated that she will always stand up for her family by going back to Chimney and Ji-yoon during her most trying times. Naturally, the characters don't deserve to go through such hardships, but nobody is immune to the inherent peril of playing a character in a procedural. In addition to being a heartbreaking plot point, Maddie's kidnapping is likely to trigger many memories of past traumas. Maddie has obviously been through a lot, and this 2-episode arc may be her darkest plot yet because it touches so close to home. Can we all agree that Maddie deserves a break after the events of next week's episode? 911 puts all of its characters through a lot.